May 1940, Germany invades the Netherlands. 5 days later, the Dutch surrender. United by their hatred of the Nazis, a struggling artist and an accomplished cellist take on the might of the German army. Using their artistic skills, they save thousands of Jews from the death camps. Yet Willem Arondeus and Frieda Belinfante are barely known in the Netherlands, let alone around the world. I've come to Amsterdam to find out why. This is rather a lovely cafe. Is it a typical kind of artist's cafe?
Yeah.
And so characters like Willem would come to a place like this?
Frieda Belinfante went to a place called, a club called The Circle, The Kring.
The Kring.
There she visited and read books there and met people. And she was approached by Sandberg, Willem Sandberg, who knew her as a conductor of a chamber orchestra.
Sandberg was the curator of the Stedelijk Museum of Modern Art. Just before the occupation, he'd had the foresight to have a huge bunker dug in the coastal dunes to hide the country's great works of art from the Nazis.
And they became friends, and she became friends with the friends of Sandberg, Willem Arondeus and Gerrit van der Veen.
Gerrit van der Veen was a sculptor. He too was doing his bit to fight the Nazis. Like Willem, he published an underground pamphlet, Die Freie Kunstenaar, the free artist. He and a group of friends would meet late at night and, in a party-like atmosphere fueled by booze and amphetamines, would stay up until dawn forging identity cards. For Willem, it also gave him a sense of family that he'd never had, really, since his father kicked him out when he came out as gay to him.
Yeah.
He was called Tikkie. We all called him Tikkie. And he was very shy and a kind of an inferiority complex. He didn't think he was good enough for this or that. And I was not a close friend of his before, but in that group we became very close.
So close, in fact, that Frieda recognized that Willem was a man she could trust. This was Willem's chance to make a real difference. He had the artistic skills and meticulous eye she needed to speed up the forging process.
We worked as a team and went out together or had people come to my house, and I would take the fingerprint and he would do something else.
With the artist's resistance now working with master printer Frans Duver, they were able to produce identity cards on a vast scale, saving thousands of Jewish lives. But this created a huge problem. The serial numbers on the cards didn't match the duplicate records held in the population registry. A simple cross-check by the Nazis condemned anyone carrying a false ID card to deportation or worse. Willem, Frieda and Gerrit met at Sandberg's house to discuss the problem. And that night, they came up with a quite extraordinary idea. They would blow up the population registry.
I knew it was guarded, we all knew that, and they were expecting all kinds of things from the Dutch.
They make a plan, they should disguise as policemen.
That was the best, they thought, the best opportunity to get inside.
We had to have a tailor who would make 2 police uniforms.
Sjoerd has to make the uniform.
Sjoerd Bakker.
Sjoerd Bakker. Willem asked him, Sjoerd, would you make the uniforms immediately? Yeah. They couldn't make the police caps properly.
Yes.
So Rudy Bloemgarten knew Cornelis Roos, the policeman.
Dutch policeman.
And he borrowed caps to make them, to imitate them.
So the group of artists turns themselves into a group of saboteurs. As news of the bombing spread, the people of Amsterdam placed single flowers in their windows, their little way of giving the Nazis the finger. And Willem, did they capture Willem straight away, Willem Arondeus?
Yes, Willem was in hiding.
Right.
And Hoogsteder did mention the address. So on April 1, he was arrested there.
His attitude was absolutely heroic. when he was arrested, they came in and they say, in the name of Hitler, we arrest you, you follow us or something. And he said, and in the name of the Queen of Holland, I will follow you. I mean, he was not even startled.
And then he turned to the policeman and he said, I will warn you, there will be a curse on you and your family members for 7 generations. Wow. Because of this criminal act of collaboration.
Something marvellous happened to Willem Arondeus, didn't it? He became such a...
He became
he was...
really, yes, he was always in doubt. And during the occupation, yes,
it gave him a purpose.
It gave him a purpose, and he became very courageous.
They started to raid addresses.
Yeah, they started, and one by one, most of the people involved were arrested.
I knew something was wrong, so I better disappear. And that's why I wasn't arrested, because they had my address. But they didn't get to my house early enough.
And first of all, she disguised herself as a man.
Look at that.
Yeah.
The pink triangle was once a symbol of Nazi oppression. Homosexuals were forced to wear it, just as Jews were forced to wear the yellow Star of David. The triangle was reclaimed in the 1980s by the gay rights movement and is now a symbol of pride. This is the first monument ever to honor every victim of gay persecution. This is the Homo Monument, past, present, and future in one. The past, a warning from history. The present, where we are now. The future, where, for the sake of humanity, I hope history never repeats itself. This is how I believe Willem and Frieda should be remembered.